So this is a talk through of the Ba Duan Jin, the 8 pieces of silk brocade, a simple, widespread and absolutely beautiful Qi-Gong form to follow. To begin with, we're standing in Tai Chi stance. We're going to make this posture. It's called Zhan Zhuang. It's a meditation posture, sort of holding the hands out in front of the chest, palms facing the body. I'm going to just turn to the side here. We're going to keep returning to this posture as we go through the 8 movements. So I'm going to turn back to the front and begin the movement. So it's a sort of circular shape, and we're in Tai Chi stance, sinking, knees are soft, perhaps just adjust a little bit. First movement, lace the fingers together, bring them up, turn your palms upward to the ceiling. This movement is called support the sky. Each of these movements I'm going to do about 8 times, really slowly. I'm probably doing it a little bit fast here. But Tai Chi and Qi-Gong are performed at a pretty slow pace. The slower the better, really. It's actually harder to do things more slowly. So I'm sinking and rising. So I'm sinking back down here. And then what I'm going to do is talk about the breath. So breathing in as I reach up, and then breathing out as I sink back down and bring the hands to the lower position. Hands stay laced together. I look up at my hands and look ahead and then sink back down. Couple more repetitions of this movement. Support the sky. This is movement number 1 from the Ba Duan Jin, 8 pieces of silk brocade. Gong sequence. By the way, there are lots of different names for the movements in this form, but I'll just use the ones that I know. So back into Zhan Zhuang, and then we're going to go to the next movement. This is called draw the bow to shoot the golden eagle. As you can see, 2 movements. My right arm extends, my left hand makes a fist and draws back. So as we do this together, so one hand extends out, forming an L shape with the fingers. The other hand forms a fist and pulls back. In other words, like drawing a bow. This is a big stretch across the top of the body, across the chest and across the upper back. Do it really slowly, drawing the bow. One hand comes back, one hand comes forward. I'm going to turn to the side just to show the L shape there. We're sort of, that's how we're aiming, looking to see the opponent through the L shape formed by the thumb and the index finger. A few more repetitions here, drawing the bow to shoot the golden eagle. Of course, we shouldn't shoot golden eagles, but I'm just working from the names that I've learnt this form with. Couple more repetitions on either side. Right, thinking about that stretch, and then coming back to the starting position. And the next movement here, just going to shake my legs out. I was trembling when I was filming this. If you're trembling, by the way, it's a good sign. Next movement, separate heaven and earth. So 2 movements. One hand goes down to the side, palm facing the floor. The other hand comes above the head, palm facing the sky, fingers turned in. So as you see, we do this both at the same time, and it's a big kind of diagonal stretch across the body. I'm just adjusting my position there. One hand comes down, palm facing the ground. The other hand goes up, palm facing the sky, fingers turned in. Separate heaven and earth. That's the name of this movement. Really beautiful stretch this, and as you can see, I'm also extending and sinking here. So as my hands extend, I extend my body a bit. There's the diagonal stretch, and when I bring my hands back to the starting position, I sink a little bit. So breathe in as you're extending, breathe out as you're sinking. Again, back to the starting position, Zhan Zhuang, and then the next movement is called the Wise Owl Gazes at the Moon behind or backwards. Such great names, aren't they? As you can see here, what I'm doing is turning to the side and looking upwards and behind me, and making this shape with my hands. I'm turning my palms outwards here. I'm doing a bit of a sink and a rise, or you can just do this by turning from one side to the other, turning at the waist as far as possible. Turning to one side, looking upwards between the hands. The palms are turned outwards, facing upwards. You can perhaps experiment with this by sinking a little bit, or just kind of bringing the position of the hands sort of higher up across the chest, but mainly, as I'm doing there, but mainly this movement is about turning backwards and turning upwards and looking through the space between the hands, which I'm going to demonstrate here, that shape there. Next movement, drop the hands and I bring them behind me, palms facing upwards, then I squat down and I'm going to just drag my fingers across the floor there. In this movement, it might be worth you just kind of bringing your feet ever so slightly closer together. It's easier to squat that in that position. And what I'm doing here is another movement. It's called the white crane dips its wings in the stream. Such beautiful names, aren't they? This is essentially a squatting movement. Plus, we're bringing the hands above the head, round the back, and turning it into a very, very big movement here. Getting a full stretch across the chest and squatting down and sinking. And something else to think about here is to exhale as you sink down and inhale as the hands come up at the back. Again, I'm going rather faster. When I was recording this, it was super cold in the Soma space today. And another thing, looking ahead of you, looking upwards instead of looking towards the floor as we squat. It's going to show something else here, which is a different variation of this. What I'm doing here is grabbing underneath my toes and lifting my pelvis up to extend my legs. So this is a big hamstring stretch here. This is another way I've seen this movement done, but just to throw that one in there as well. The white crane dips its wings in the stream. One more repetition of the white crane dips its wings in the stream, and I'm going to change my hand positions here. So you see I'm going to put my hands on the tops of my thighs for the next movement, which is called the big bear turns to the side. So I drop my head, go across the feet, and then look upwards and backwards, and then back down on the other side. Looking upwards and backwards, a really, really big body stretch here. And I just want to draw your attention to something. I'm going to point to it here. The way that the heel of the back leg, you can turn your heel out slightly outwards as you do the upward stretch, as I've just demonstrated there. So in simple terms, there we go, turning the heel outwards and then adjusting it back. So you can see here that I'm reaching upwards and backwards. I bend forward, eyes go across the feet, and then upwards and backwards on the other side. Again, I'm doing this a little bit fast. As I said, it was really, really cold in the space when I was filming this. But that is the next movement, the big bear turns to the side. That's my favorite movement, I think, from this Qi-Gong sequence. Meanwhile, this movement I think has the best name. So this is called clench fists and gaze fiercely. Now, I make fists in a rather different way here. First of all, I fold my thumbs into my palm and then make a fist. We'd never punch this way normally, because if you did, you might break your thumb. But you can see what I'm doing here, which is a coiling punching movement. So my arms begin, the elbows begin underneath the shoulder, and I punch forwards towards, let's say, the solar plexus of the opponent, one at a time. And what we don't want to do is that, we don't want to be turning with the upper body. This is purely keeping a structure, keeping strong, stationary standing in Tai Chi stance, and then just punching, using the arms to punch forward. At the same time, gazing fiercely. Easy to forget that Tai Chi is a martial art. It's grounded in fighting. I'm just going to show it from the side here, and you can see more of the coiling movement of the hands. So the hands coil forwards into the punch. And I'm going to bring it back. A few more to finish off. Facing the camera again. Make those special fists. Bring the arms, the elbows underneath the shoulders, and begin punching forwards, coiling. That means sort of twisting the limbs as you extend them forwards. A few more repetitions, and then we nearly at the end of this Ba Duan Jin Qi-Gong sequence. Here we go. So the last movement. So what I'm going to do here is put the backs of my hands over my lower back, kind of where the kidneys are. And I'm just going to bounce up and down. So bouncing on the toes. We don't want to be jumping here. We're just bouncing up and down. This is a great way to kind of get everything flowing around. Turn back to center. And I'm bouncing up and down here. Kind of perhaps do it for 30 seconds, a minute. Carry on. Great way to just get everything bouncing around, moving, and when you feel like you've nearly done enough, that's it, throw your hands out, and you've completed the Ba Duan Jin, the 8 pieces of silk brocade, an absolutely wonderful Qigong sequence. Thanks for watching.